Welcome back, bonus Vipers. Have you guys worded up yet? Of course not, that's why you're here. But don't worry, because neither have I. Let's get into this mess. We're back, and it is season 3, episode 1. Now, I do have to give a disclaimer. I am very, very bothered. I also may have shed a tear watching this. Oh my goodness. But anyway, we're seeing the distance between the wives' houses. I don't care about any of that, okay? What I do care about, however, is Robyn's herpes. I've never seen them looking this bad, okay? Her mouth looks sore, okay, and these herpes looks like they would kind of be burny, okay. They look incredibly painful, okay. So this woman is telling us that she doesn't want to upset Meri over the pregnancy, and that she asked Kody if she should tell Meri first. And I was wondering why. Like, why would you do that? Because like Meri is supposed to be like your bestie for the restie. So why on earth are you asking Kody this? Okay, surely if you really did feel that way about Meri, you would send her a message. Or you would say like, let's go for coffee or something, and you would like tell her the news then. So yeah, I'm completely and utterly side eyeing this already. But then she tells us that infertility calls for extra sensitivity. Now, how would she know this, okay? Like, this is baby number 4. Like, she is a fertile myrtle, okay? She knows nothing about infertility. She hasn't been around for years in this family when these women were having their children, when Meri found out about the infertility. She knows nothing about this, okay? She knows nothing about this, okay? And now she's in Mary's huge house, okay? Now, I don't know who told Meri that vivid lime green was her colour because it's not. It's definitely not. She actually looks like she's heading off to like the Paddy's Day parade or something. It's all kinds of wrong. It's all kinds of wrong. Anyway, Robyn says that she wanted Meri to know that she was going to be okay if Meri was sad. And I thought, excuse me? But what the hell? Like, you're going to be okay with Mary's feelings? Well, that's really great of you, Robyn. I'm glad this woman's feelings like aren't gonna put you out too much. You absolute and utter cow. Oh my god. So she tells Meri she's pregnant, okay? This is so sad. Meri is pretending to be happy, okay? Now Robyn is telling Meri that it's sad that Meri is sad. And I'm thinking, like, obviously it's sad that Meri is sad. And you are causing the sadness, by the way. Oh, so Mary says that she'd love another pregnancy and she wants another baby. And if it happened naturally, it would be so weird. And I thought, Mary, obviously it would be weird because you and Kody aren't banging at this stage. So like, it's not just gonna be weird. This would literally be like the Immaculate Conception. But Mary is also saying that Leon is almost 16, so it would kind of like, be starting all over again, which I suppose, is true. So this is filmed between Mary's mansion and the new sofa. I have to say, I'm still very bothered by this new sofa. I just can't get used to it at all, okay? Now, Robyn says that she's so excited to share the information with Mary, okay? And as she's saying this, they're sitting on the floor and she's giggling, okay? And she's pretending to hold up like baby clothes and saying like, "Oh, look at how cute." Like, she's just really trying to rub it into Mary's face. She's just basically saying to Mary, okay, you have a dry, barren, empty womb, and I'm just putting this into your face. And I thought, I absolutely hate this woman. I hate this woman so much. So we find out that Robyn is 6 weeks pregnant. Is that not very early though? Like, to make an announcement. Is that not like really early? But anyway, she's like super duper excited about it. Now, apparently, Mary is having like a family dinner night, and I was thinking, oh yeah, because they have like just moved to this area, so this is like a housewarming party, and like she has just moved in. But I find out this is where Robyn wants to tell the family. I could not believe this, okay? This is Mary's night. This is Mary's housewarming. And now Robyn is taking it. Oh no, I hated this. I hated that she was doing this to Mary. On top of everything else, I didn't like this, okay? And she said all the kids will be excited now. I can tell you. These kids are not going to be excited. They're not going to be excited at all. There was only 2 kids. There was only my sister and I, okay? When my parents told us we were going to have a new baby in our family. I was super excited. I couldn't keep my mouth shut about it. But my sister lost her shit over this, okay? Now, my sister wanted one of two things. She wanted to run away, or she wanted to be adopted. Both of those things, okay, would end up at my nanny's house. So she wanted my grandparents to adopt her, or she was going to run away to my grandparents. They lived approximately 5 minutes away from us, okay? But that was her reaction, okay? Now, bear in mind, there was only two of us. We went to like, we had a like fairly stable life, we weren't being moved across the country. Like, our dad wasn't balls deep in some chick, like just out there raw dogging, making babies. Like, none of that was happening, okay? But still, well, I suppose she did have to put up with me. I was incredibly annoying as a kid. I really was. But still, like, it just goes to show, how different kids react. So it's so stupid to think that all these kids are going to be excited. Like, obviously, that's not going to happen. So Mary is doing like lots of smiling, and I have to say, oh my God, it's absolutely heartbreaking. It really, really is. So on the sofa, okay, Kody says that he likes the idea of Robyn telling Mary first because they have a great relationship. And I thought, this is crap. And it's a lie because in the last episode, Mary told us that the relationship with Robyn was like a roller coaster. So anyway, I'm getting a better look at this food, okay? And it's pasta boiling in a pot, but they keep stirring it and they keep mushing it. And I'm thinking, well, number one, stop doing that, okay? But also, like, what on earth is Mary putting into these cups? I'm trying, like, it's not a drink, okay? I'm trying to work out what it is. It's definitely not fluid, but I've no idea what is being put into these cups, but it looks absolutely diabolical, okay? Like Christine would never. We know who the cook is in this family. But I appreciate that you went to the effort to the effort like of getting food for everybody. Then Robin says again, I want to go baby clothes shopping. You've no job, love. You have no job. And by the way, this is not what we do in this family, okay? What we do in this family is we hand down. Now, I have seen Gabriel on a pogo stick, okay, bouncing off a pogo stick in a pair of jeans that I believe initially belonged to Logan, all right? Because the jeans were hanging off him. I have seen Savannah in clothes that are hanging off of her, okay? None of these kids get new clothes. What we do is we share. So if you want to be a part of the Brown family, guess what you do? You live like the Browns, okay? And you share. That's how you become part. She's not getting it, folks. She is not getting this at all. Now, I did find this very interesting, and I do actually have a question about this, okay? Because Robin says that she wants to find out, okay, if she's having a boy or a girl, because she said that she never did that before. And I was wondering about this, okay? Because I know that in the United States of America, people have to pay for medical treatment. So, God forbid, like, if you have an illness, okay, and you go to the hospital, right, you have to pay for that treatment. But then I was thinking, well, maybe it's not considered treatment, like because she's just getting a scan to find out the sex of the baby. But also, if it's not considered treatment and she didn't have to pay for it, why wouldn't she have gotten it done with the other three? So I had all of those thoughts, okay. And also, if it is something that they have to pay for in the United States, she's getting it done now because the Brown family is paying for it. And I thought, oh, of course she is, of course she is. Now Cody is just bursting through the door, okay, and says, how did it go? Now bear in mind, okay, the camera crew is here. So Mary has no choice. Like in this moment, okay, she does not have the opportunity to like actually express how she's really feeling. And I didn't like that. I didn't like it. So we're on the sofa, and of course, Robin is letting us know that her and Cody bang, and she's telling us again that a baby is a physical representation of an intimate marriage. We know, sweetheart, we know how biology works, okay? And now she's telling us, oh, now she's telling us that a wife in a plural family will put the idea of the husband banging the other wives over her head. And I thought, wow, just like that, something is going on that we don't like and what we just don't think of it. Yeah, the brain really works like that, okay? But also, how on earth would she know this, okay? These women were together for for years. So these women know, okay? But Robin doesn't know. And when Robin was married to David Preston Jessup, it was just the two of them. So how on earth would she know what another wife feels like? She has no idea. She has no idea. She is so comfortable in this family so damn quickly. So now we're back in Mary's house, okay? And now Robin wants to plan with Mary, bear in mind, at Mary's dinner party, how to announce her damn pregnancy. I was so angry. I thought, oh my goodness, You were just such a nasty piece of shit, Robyn. You really, really are. Like this is Mary's night, and Robyn is just like she's just taking it, okay? So we're seeing all the family arriving, and I get to see just how big Mary's house is. This thing is huge, okay? But Robyn is worried about how people are going to react, and I can tell you they're going to react badly. I can tell you that, and I don't even know them. I live a whole other continent away, and I can tell you that these people are not going to be happy, okay? They've been uprooted from their lives. They're in new schools. They have no money and they're paying for four damn houses, okay? And also, Robyn, you are not contributing because you do not work. These people are not going to be happy. Now, bear in mind, we already have a baby in this family. We have the one, the only, truly Maggie Simpson. And she is the baby in this family, okay? And to all these kids, this is their baby sister, okay? And they love her. And I have to say, Truly is always going to be the OG brown baby, okay? Even now, right? When I see Truly now in her trench coat, okay, I still think to myself, she is still the OG brown baby. She could be 20 and I'm still going to think of her like that. So Kody is gathering up the family, okay? And rather than just say, like Robin's up the duff, he has to do like a little riddle. And he says, in 7.5 months, Truly won't be the little one. Now, I was trying to look at this from the perspective of the kids, okay? So if I'm a little kid, I'm thinking, what on earth are you talking about? Like, where the hell is Truly going that she's not going to be the little one? You know, what's going on here? But also, if I'm an older kid, I'm like, I'm figuring this out for myself. And I'm working out when exactly my dad was raw dogging this chick. Like they're the thoughts like, you're going to be having as a kid. But like during this announcement from hell, okay, I was glad to see that Isabella's having a little cuddle with Meri. So I was glad to know that Meri wasn't completely on her own because I know, okay, that these words have to be so painful to her. They they're just not taking this woman's feelings into consideration at all. So we see the family reaction. I do have a theory, okay? I do have a theory. Robin's kids already know. No, I know this to be true because as soon as Kody like gives his riddle, okay, Brianna is cheering. Now, this kid is way too young. She has no idea how to work out Cody's riddle, okay? So Robin definitely told her kids. So even back then, okay, because it's obvious the other kids didn't know. Even back then, she was like keeping her kids, separate and doing like her own thing. Anyway, Christine is pretending to be excited, okay? Gwen is excited. And Aspen, like, does give it a smile, okay? But it's obvious, like, that the family aren't happy, and I don't blame them. Anyway, Christine, being the terrible sister wife, goes straight to Robin and gives her a big hug, okay? And Aurora, who's holding truly Maggie Simpson, actually says, this is going to be the first baby in Vegas. No, it's not. You have the first baby in Vegas. She's literally in your arms. Like, what on earth are you talking about? Now, Logan is giving Robin a hug, and I thought, well, careful there, kid, avoid the owl, avoid the mouth area. But the rest of the kids didn't say anything, okay? And Robin says Aspen and Maddie didn't even smile. That is crap, and it's a lie. Now, when she said this, I actually went back, okay? I went back because I noticed. I noticed who was smiling, I noticed the people's reactions. But in case I got it wrong, okay, I went back. That's how we do it here. That's how we do the investigations. I went back and I seen Aspen smile. So Robin is a lying liar that lies. She really, really is, because I seen that kid smiling. But Robin is relaying this like from the sofa, okay? She's getting like, oh, like super emotional. And she mentions Hunter, okay? Now I have to say, she holds a grudge against this kid like forever. Now bear in mind, okay? This kid was going through like a depression at this stage. The last thing he wanted, the last thing he needed was a new feckin' baby in his life. So, like, in this night of like terror, okay, at this housewarming, now turned announcement party, okay, poor Leon like runs up the stairs, okay, and Meri follows Leon, and then Kody follows, but Leon is really upset, okay. Now, they're not upset because Robin is knocked up. That's not why they're upset. Leon is upset, okay, because Meri can't have another baby. And now Leon is crying. But they're not crying because of the new baby. They're crying because of Meri. Leon is crying for their mother, and I thought, oh, this is all kinds of messed up, okay? But then I get bothered again because we're back downstairs, okay, and Kody is with Robin, and Kody is like letting Robin know what's going on. But then he's sending her upstairs, okay? But he's giving her directions to where Mary and Leon are, and he's pointing. And I thought, sir, there's a whole damn camera crew up there. Like, she knows where she's going, but also, why on earth are we sending Robyn? Like, just leave them alone. Or if you feel the need to send somebody, like, at least just send Christine. Or, like, Christine, Christine is always cheery. Like, she's gonna try and cheer you up, like, no matter what, okay? Anyway, he's sending Robyn up, and that bothered me. But it also bothered me that she decided, like, oh yeah, this is a great idea. I will go up. But she does go up, and Leon gives Robyn a hug, and I thought Leon is a much better kid than I ever was. They really, really are. Now, Robyn says it's difficult for her to know that other people are having a hard time. And I thought, well, you know what? That's too bad, so sad, and just kind of tough. Other people have feelings too, Robyn. Like, the world is not just made for you. Then I did think this is kind of wild because Robyn says she knows how children bind families together, and I thought, do they? Do they really though, Robyn? Like, what about you and your husband? Did they bind you guys together? What about your mother and father? Did like the kids bind them together? I don't think so. I don't think that happened. But she wants to know if the family is going to be okay because she's here permanently. We know, we know. Now, apparently Janelle didn't say anything either, okay? And I loved that. Janelle is just like she doesn't give a shit. She just doesn't give a shit at all, okay? But Janelle says that she wasn't in a bad place because of Robyn's announcement, okay? She's just going through a lot, because like their culture is, they've moved away from what they know culturally, okay? And like her whole world is just like being turned upside down like with this move. And then Janelle gets really upset. Oh, feck, because Janelle then starts crying, okay? Now, Christine, this woman, this woman actually is like a precious soul, like in all seriousness, she really is, okay? Because Christine is trying to sympathize and validate, okay, how Janelle is feeling. And she says, right, that the move has been worse for Janelle. Because Christine says that she's grand and she's still doing her thing, which is like looking after the kids. But Janelle is not working and the family have finite resources. And Janelle is very, very worried, okay? Now we know that Janelle is a career girlie. That's her thing, okay? So Janelle is telling us all of this, like, and how she's feeling, okay? And then Janelle says, right, that she has nothing to keep her away from the home. And I thought, Janelle, those are thoughts that you should just keep inwards, okay? Also, somebody please find this woman a job. She needs a break from these damn kids. But I thought, oh my God, it would be Janelle. Like, Janelle has no filter. The woman just literally has, like, no filter. So now we're in Janelle's house, and she's telling us that Hunter is withdrawn and depressed, and we see him coming in from school and heading upstairs. And Kody is there, okay? I thought this was such an interesting choice, because Kody is in a bright orange shirt and a pair of white jeans. Now we've just seen, okay, Mary's green top, and I thought, are these two like, are they heading out to the Paddy's Day parade? Are they trying to make up the tricolour between them? It's just I really did appreciate that look. But anyway, Kody is calling Hunter downstairs and asks him if he wants to join football. And Hunter is not interested. This kid is not happy with you, Kody, okay? But then Kody is saying this, like from the new sofa. Teenagers don't give you feedback. And I thought, hang on a second, Kody. He did give you feedback. He told you that he didn't want to go like to football, okay? But anyway, as Hunter is saying this, he's diving into a yogurt while having like this real intense conversation. And then I spot Savannah, okay, just having a little play for herself. And somewhere along the line, Savannah has found a suitor. Like, when did she get this? Like, when did she start sucking a suitor? Where did she get it from? I'm assuming, okay, this is it. This is what I believe to be true. Savannah seen this in Truly's mouth, and she just pulled it out of her mouth and popped it into her own. And now this is this is Savannah's suitor. So now it's Sunday and we're at Robyn's house, okay? Now I spotted something. That damn Lexus is in the garden, but they're telling us that they're going to Mary's for church. I have so many questions about this, okay? I know that in the Duggar family, okay, that the Duggar family used to do church at home. So is that like a common thing for people in the United States who are religious? Do like when they say they're going to church, do they just mean like they're staying at home and like I don't understand like really how that works, okay? But because it's just not what I'm familiar with. But anyway, okay, I was wondering, like these were really religious back then. Why did they not have a prayer closet? I loved the prayer closet. Okay, I really, really did. I had so many, and I guarantee you, okay, these boys would have loved would have loved a prayer closet because they've no privacy, they've no privacy. But in the prayer closet in the Duggar house, okay, I think it was Ginger. Ginger was always mad into the prayer closet. I wonder if she wrote her diary there, but anyway, yeah, I had a lot of thoughts about like the church thing because they don't go like to an actual church, where an actual priest like says mass and you get Holy Communion and all that. They just go to somebody's house and apparently that's considered church. So I don't know whether that's like a common American thing or perhaps it's just like for the Mormon. Oh no, hang on, the Duggars aren't Mormon. So perhaps it's just for the very religious people. I don't know. Anyway, I was just thinking about that. So now we're in Janelle's house, okay? And they're all getting ready. And Janelle says to Savannah, "Oh, you have your wings on." So I get a look at these wings, okay? And these are definitely a hand-me-down, okay? And there isn't even any wire left in them. They're just floppy. And I thought, for God's sake, Janelle, like fix the damn wings for her, you know? Oh my goodness. Anyway, Janelle finally gets these damn kids to go to church. And now we're in Christine's, okay? Now, apparently Gwen hates church. That's too bad. She's going. Now, this this is where it gets interesting, okay? Because Mykelti says she's not going to church. And I get a look at Kody, and Kody has like a fresh blowout, okay? And he's after getting a little trim. And he said some of the kids told him that Mykelti wasn't going to go to church. Now, I have a theory. This was Leon. This was definitely Leon, okay, that squealed. Because we know that Leon was like super religious. So soon as they found out, okay, that Mykelti wasn't going to go to church, I guarantee you, okay, Mykelti got in touch with Kody and said, "Hey, get Mykelti over here." But we're on the sofa, okay, as Kody is telling us this. Now, he has another look, okay? Now, I believe this to be true, okay? He has hair that's kind of like from Little House on the Prairie. It's very Charles Ingalls, okay? So I believe that that's the look that Kody is going for. Now, he's not getting it, okay? But I do appreciate it. I do appreciate this look. I love when I get a new look. I absolutely and utterly love it. Anyway, Cody called Mykelti on the phone, and I thought, why? Like, Mykelti is literally just across the road. Like, I believe at this time, okay, so this was about 12 or 13 years ago. So we did get plans like we get now. So you wouldn't have had, like, X amount of free minutes. So he's paying for this phone call, and Mykelti is, like, literally, like, just across the road, okay? But Mykelti says, right, it's not right to film church and that God wouldn't like it. And I thought, what an absolute power move. Like, you can't argue with that. Like, you literally can't argue with that. And by the way, well done, Mykelti. Well done for that. But Kody is saying we'll discuss this further. Now, I know that that means when the camera crew is not there, okay? He's gonna have some words for Mykelti when the camera crew is not there. And we're going to leave the kids and the wives, who are bored out of nut, by the way, listening to Cody's mass or sermon or church or whatever it is. I'm not sure of the correct terminology, but we will be back for part two when the shit really does actually hit the fan. So that is our recap, and I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you did, go ahead and hit subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Have a great day.